Hello and welcome to episode 3 from my series on burnout, how to recognise, understand and deal with it. If you haven't had an opportunity already to look at episode 1 and 2 on stress and dealing with the stressor, I would encourage you to do that because it helps to contextualise what we're going to talk about today, which is about taking back control. And the question is, what's stopping you? Well, there is some research around personality and behaviours that relates particularly to women that is a bit uncomfortable to read. But if you think about it, from a very young age, young little girls, young women, adult women are taught that there's a particular way of behaving and being calm, being attentive, being happy, being generous, and looking after the needs of others. None of that of itself is bad, but if it becomes an expectation, a cultural norm, then if we feel we're not living up to that, or we're being told we're not conforming or living up to that, then we can feel a failure. And actually we're not. But those external expectations on us are very powerful. And if we believe that behaving in that way is normal and true, then we're not going to be true to ourselves. We're going to be limiting all our expectations and constantly beating ourselves up because we feel like we're failures. The solution. There are a couple of worksheets in this episode that you can look at and think about that will help you. But the first worksheet focuses on finding your meaning, because the research is very clear that there are 3 emotional aspects that help us to be resilient and strong and be in control. One of them is having an ambitious goal, and that's not something that we might think about, oh, I'd quite like to take up yoga or skydiving, whatever. It's an ambition that we may have had from being a very young child. However ambitious, however aspirational, it's long term and it's always there. And sometimes we remind ourselves of it. It's always there. It doesn't go away. The second aspect is having a sense of us doing things in service of a greater good. And that may be a spiritual calling or a philosophy, whatever it is that sense of something greater than yourself. And the third element is a loving commitment, that you are in a loving commitment to yourself, another person, or an animal, a pet, but it's reciprocated. That's the important part. So it's unconditional loving commitment. Those 3 elements will help you find your meaning. And worksheet 3 gives you the opportunity to think about that. Worksheet 4 then allows you to think about, well, if this is my meaning, the thing that makes me get up, my why, my true purpose in life, what I want to be and do and I am, then what do I need to do to achieve it? And so worksheet 4 gives you some exercises to think about that. And it helps you unblock some of those limiting assumptions that are stopping you from doing what you want to do. It helps you create a plan and then an action. So, for example, a few years ago now, I decided that my goal, my ambition was to celebrate a very significant anniversary with my husband by learning to scuba dive, because he is an experienced scuba diver. I really wanted to do this. I went through the training course, got through it, and did my first dive before our anniversary. Complete disaster, surfaced, got back on the boat, felt a complete failure. And all of those limiting assumptions came to the fore that was in my head. Why did I ever think I could do this? I'm rubbish. I'm a danger to myself and other people. I'm going to cause an accident. It'll be a disaster. Um, this was just a really silly thing to do. All of that was going on in my head. That little inner voice was telling me all of this stuff, limiting beliefs. When I actually sat and thought about it, it's like, okay, what could I credibly believe instead? So for me, it was about visualizing what it would look like to get ready for my dive, stand on the edge, jump in the water, go below the surface, get my buoyancy sorted out, and go on that dive and enjoy it. For me, it was visualizing that, believing that I could do it. You might want to write it down, whatever, but it's going through a process of saying, what could you credibly believe instead, and what's your plan? How are you going to achieve it? So thinking about the assumptions, looking at what you could credibly believe instead, and then devising a plan so that you do it. That's all well and good, but as with every other worksheet and exercise and activity and tips we've looked at in this series so far, sometimes you can't do this on your own and you might need some help. That's what I'm here for. You can contact me via the email and book a 30-minute no obligation chat, and I will talk you through the worksheets, give you some advice, help you be the best you can be. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to presenting the final episode in this series about resilience.